Stop scrolling. Look at your phone. That device is not a tool. It is a control panel for your attention, owned by someone else. You believe you are struggling with low motivation? You are wrong. You are not lazy. You are compromised. Your entire mental operating system is running on code written by billion-dollar corporations whose sole function is to keep you reactive, consuming, and distracted. This is the mind control formula ruling your life. It is simple architecture. Attention is the primary resource. Dopamine is the fuel. Systems are the walls that cage you. If you are waiting for motivation, Dewey Low's motivation is a fleeting emotion. Systems are concrete architecture. You do not need willpower to fight an algorithm. You need a superior system to bypass the algorithm entirely. We are not victims of temptation. We are victims of poor defense architecture. Your focused ability to direct your cognitive power toward a singular, valuable output is the single greatest predictor of your future wealth, impact, and freedom. When you lose focus, you lose sovereignty. When you lose sovereignty, you become a puppet. Today, we terminate the puppet strings. We install the S.O.V protocol, the system for sovereignty over velocity. This is the architectural blueprint to reclaim independent thought. Forget digital detoxes that last one weekend. We are building a permanent digital fortress. We have 3 protocols to implement immediately. 1. The input filter protocol, diagnosing the compromised system. 2. The 10x content contraction matrix, quality control for intellectual growth. 3. The creation over consumption engine, reallocating your prime cognitive hours. No fluff, no motivational speeches. This is the executable architecture. Start taking notes. The first rule of architectural integrity is securing the perimeter. You cannot control what you generate if you cannot control what you ingest. Your mind is currently an open sewage system. Every notification, every endless feed, every emotionally manipulative headline is pouring into your core processing unit, corrupting your output. Action step 1.1. The 48-hour sensory deprivation test. This is not optional. It is diagnostic. For the next 48 hours, eliminate all unnecessary, non-essential digital inputs. Essential means work-related communication. Non-essential means news feeds, all social media, recreational browsing, and algorithmic video consumption. Observe the withdrawal. Notice the physical twitch to grab the phone. That twitch is the automated response system, the mind control formula firing in your brain. You are watching your programming fail in real time. Understand this. Your phone is designed to induce anxiety when it is not being touched. The goal is to keep you in a state of anticipatory reward waiting for the next hit of synthetic dopamine. System installation, the input filter protocol. You must create a binary categorization for all information entering your life. Category A, high-value growth input, H-feed. Category B, low-value drag input, LV, HVGI. Information that directly correlates to your highest level goals, a specific coding tutorial for a product launch, a dense economic report for investment strategy, a textbook on leadership theory. These inputs require focus, resistance, and application. They hurt your brain slightly because they demand work. LVDI. Information that provides immediate, effortless emotional satisfaction or outrage. Gossip. General news cycles. Viral short-form video. Opinion pieces disguised as data. These inputs are easy. They make you feel informed, but they deliver zero executable action. The rule, hard firewall, LVDI, is banned during your productive hours, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Period. You do not check Instagram while taking a work break. You do not check the news waiting for a meeting. That is contamination. You are poisoning the well of your focus. If you find yourself opening an LVDI app, you must immediately implement the cost. The cost must be physical labor. If you check Twitter, you must immediately drop and perform 20 push-ups. Make the cost of contamination higher than the perceived reward of distraction. You must stop treating your attention as infinite. It is finite, expensive, and non-renewable. Control the input or sacrifice the output. The 10x content contraction matrix. When you implement the input filter protocol, you will suddenly find yourself with vast pockets of silent time. The tendency of the compromised mind is to fill that silence immediately. Do not do Italiano. Silence is the raw material of sovereignty. We now move from filtering what comes in to determining why it comes in. Most people consume content to alleviate boredom or anxiety. This is emotional self-medication disguised as learning. THE, intellectual ROI metric. You must assign a required return on investment to every piece of content you consume. If you spend 1 hour consuming, you must demand a 10x return in applied thought, synthesis, or creation. This is the 10x content contraction matrix. Stop watching 30 videos on a subject. Read one foundational book. The algorithms want breadth. The architect demands depth. Protocol 2.1. The 3-step application lock. Before consuming any 8, define the lock. 1. The thesis lock. Define the specific, single question this content must answer for you. If you cannot articulate the question in one sentence, you do not need the content. 2. The output lock. Define the specific, single deliverable the consumption must produce. Example. Reading this report must produce a 3-point execution plan for my team meeting tomorrow. 3. The contraction lock. Define the ratio. If the content is 60 minutes long, you are committing 600 minutes, 10 hours of focused effort to apply, synthesize, or teach the principles within the next 7 days. If the 10x ratio is not feasible or realistic, the content is LVDI, regardless of how intellectual it seems. Drop it. The contrast, the puppet skims 10 articles daily, feels temporarily smart, but cannot execute a single concept. The architect consumes 1 dense book per month, spends that month implementing the core 3 concepts, and generates measurable results. The modern mind is drowning in information velocity. We are not designed to process this volume. We are designed for deep thought and focused execution. Contraction reducing volume while increasing quality and application is the only path to mastery. You are not paid for what you know. You are paid for what you build with what you know. Knowledge without application is contamination. The creation over consumption engine, mental sovereignty, is not achieved through defensive tactics alone. It is achieved through aggressive offense. You must systemically prioritize creation over consumption. The modern economy rewards the person who generates leverage code, systems, content, solutions, not the person who perfectly understands the headlines. Your mind has a peak performance window. For most high-performance professionals, this window is the first 3 to 4 hours after waking. This is your high-grade fuel. The mind control formula is designed to steal this fuel before you realize it's gone. For example, checking email in bed, system installation, fixed schedule productivity. FSP is the violent protection of your creation time. We don't wait for motivation or free time. We schedule the deep work and build the rest of life around it. Protocol 3.1, the 3-hour citadel. 1. Establish the citadel. Block the first 3 hours of every workday, for example, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. This block is non-negotiable. It is sacred time. 2. zero input rule. During the Citadel, your phone is off, email is closed, and the door is shut. No external input is permitted. The goal is pure, focused creation on the single task that moves your primary objective forward. 3. Task definition lock. The night before, define the one highest leverage task for the Citadel. Write it down on a 3x5 index card. When the 3 hours begin, you execute that task until failure or completion. No context switching. This is the creation engine. You are replacing the reactive loop checking inputs with a proactive loop generating outputs. If you commit to this system, you ensure that by 9 a.m., you have already completed the most valuable work of the day. Everything else is logistics. The failure of flexibility. Weak minds chase flexibility. They say, I'll do the deep work when I feel ready. That moment never comes. The algorithm detects the empty space and fills it with LVDI. Strong minds demand structure. They use time boxing and systemic enforcement to guarantee output. If the system demands 3 hours of writing, the body executes the 3 hours of writing. Emotion is irrelevant. You are an architect. You do not wait for the foundation to motivate itself into place. You execute the blueprint, build the Citadel. Protect the focus. The reality calibration loop, RCA. The most sophisticated form of mind control is not external. It is manufactured emotional distress. The algorithms excel at triggering comparison, outrage, and financial anxiety, convincing you that only more consumption will solve the feeling. When you start executing your own systems, the Citadel, the 10x filter, you will experience cognitive dissonance and emotional resistance. This is normal. Your system is fighting years of programming. You need a hard protocol to break the emotional feedback loop. System installation. The reality calibration loop, RCA. This is an immediate 3-step cognitive intervention to be run the instant you feel an external trigger anxiety. Jealousy, financial, panic, outrage. Step 1. Identify the trigger source and when the emotion hits, immediately ask, what input generated this feeling? Trace it back. Was it a headline? A peer's highlight reel? A financial article predicting collapse? Identify the source, social media, news, peer comparison. Acknowledge that this input was designed architected to elicit that exact emotional response. It is not an objective truth. It is a design trigger. Do personalize the input. Step 2. Assess the data for executability. Filter the trigger through the application metric. Is this input 100% actionable and relevant to my current 3-month objective? If the input cannot be immediately converted into a specific executable task that you can schedule for the next 24 hours, it is noise. Example, reading about a stock market crash. Executable task. Review my portfolio's existing defense strategy 5 minutes. Non-executable task. Spend 3 hours panicking and scrolling opinions. Discard the non-executable data. Step 3. Define the next systemic step. Do not react emotionally. React systemically. Ask, what is the very next action step defined by my current system? If you feel overwhelmed by a competitor's success trigger, the systemic step is not consumption, but execution. Go back to your Citadel task. Your system is your shelter. Your action is your answer. The RCL prevents the cascading failure that the mind control formula relies upon. When you feel inadequate, you scroll for advice. When you feel fear, you scroll for confirmation. Stop feeding the loop. Independent thinking is the choice to process data according to your own sovereignty, not the algorithm's agenda. Run the RCL every time. Every single time. The price of sovereignty. Sovereignty is expensive. It costs you comfort. It costs you casual entertainment. It costs you the feeling of always being in the know. But the price of sacrificing sovereignty or focus, your time, your independence is exponentially higher. Look at the difference. The puppet lives reactively. It consumes without purpose, allows emotions to define its actions, and constantly chases synthetic dopamine. Its schedule is porous. Its output is negligible. The architect lives proactively. It filters input ruthlessly, demands a 10x return on all information, and locks down the creation window before the world wakes up. Its schedule is rigid. Its output creates leverage. The choice is not motivation versus temptation. The choice is weak architecture versus strong architecture. You are currently running on a compromised default setting. Today, we initiated the system upgrade. Install the S.O.V protocol. Now, start with a 48-hour sensory deprivation test. Define your citadel time immediately after finishing this video. Block it. Protect it violently. Mental sovereignty is the ultimate competitive advantage in the 21st century. It is the ability to choose your thoughts, direct your focus, and architect your reality independent of external manipulation. Stop giving away your most valuable resource for free. Implement these protocols. Stop being a spectator in your own life. Start being the architect. Do this now.